In this video, we're going to simply look at how to change the metering mode. Now, what is the metering mode? When we've just been looking on aperture priority and shutter priority, the camera, or even the manual mode, the camera is working out what it thinks is the right exposure. So for instance, when I've told it that I want a shutter speed of 1.125 and it automatically works out what aperture needs to go with that, it's having to look at the scene and it'll look at the bright and the dark. I mean, you could be on a bright sunny day and it needs to work out what aperture should be right. You could be shooting in the evening and putting the same shutter speed in, and the camera has to work out. And what it's doing is it's metering. And what we can change on here is the way that it does that. So let's let this wake up. And down here on our display, this bottom one above the number of photos we've got left is the little symbol here for the metering. Now, if I press my information button, that's now highlighted, and so I can press the OK button, and I'm going into the menu. Now, this is set by default to matrix metering, and what this will do is it'll look across this whole image that you're looking through at, and it will take an average of what it thinks is the correct exposure. So if you've got bright sunlight and you've got shadows, it will balance all of that and it will take an average, and that's what it's working out its correct exposure on. And that would be right 90% of the time. And my camera is set on that. And let's just show you what other options you've got. You've got a center weighted metering and you've got a spot metering. Now, this spot metering is really, as it implies, it's looking at just that spot in the center of your viewfinder here. And so it might be that maybe if you're shooting at a wedding, for instance, and you've got a very bright white dress that the bride's in, and you've got dark trees and shadows behind, and maybe you don't want it to compensate and get an average. The most important thing is getting that dress spot on. And so I could go onto this and I could set myself up to spot metering, and I just need to make sure that the bride's dress is right in the middle, and that's what I'm setting myself on. I can lock the exposure, and the button's up here, so I can point to her and then recompose. But that's what this is doing. It's going into that and it's saying just worry about what's in the center and correctly expose that. Now, center weighted is a step out from that. It's saying look at that center spot, but just take a bit of an average from around it as well. But I would leave this one on the default setting of this matrix mode, and it will look at the whole scene, because actually these cameras these days are pretty good at getting that right. Leave it on that, unless you're doing something extreme where you really need, there's a lot of contrast, but you just want that thing right in the center, or your main focus to be exposed right, and you're not worried about the rest of it going too dark or too light, then you would go on that spot mode.